So the last time I was on here, we were in Raleigh. We hadn't visited any schools yet. It seems like that was forever ago. Um, so let's start with what happened while we were in North Carolina. We went to Southeastern Baptist Theological Seminary, where we were only allowed on campus for chapel, which was very interesting. What were your thoughts about chapel?
I thought chapel was a lot of coded language and looks directed at us. And there was a really awkward part where he talked about gender roles, and pretty much was just like gave um the overall like women should be in the kitchen and men should be out making money
Yeah.
thing. And I was really offended by that because I was like, what if some men can't work, etc. And so I was highly offended. He was not very nice.
Yeah, several people in our group, we had conversations with students afterwards, and the students tried to save several of the writers, which was just kind of awkward.
Sorry.
That's fine. And then we went to the park and had some conversations with students that met us out for like a picnic.
Mm-hmm.
To which I realized that I was more Southern Baptist than I thought, according to one of the students. And because I had held the same 5 core beliefs that he did, yet the fact that I'm trans would keep me out of his church if he had one.
And what are the 5 core beliefs of Southern Baptistism?
I don't remember off the top of my head. He
Oh.
just listed them, and I was like, check.
Check.
So on.
It's okay. There's little Southern Baptists in everyone.
Yeah. And so from there, I mean, it was a lot of very hard conversations.
Yeah.
And little leeways.
I definitely agree with that. That day I realized how much I did not like talking theology.
Yeah.
At all. Like, after it, I was done.
Yeah. And then we went to Campbell, and...
Oh, Campbell.
Yes. Campbell was... I think Campbell was one of the pivotal stops on the ride.
Mm-hmm. Thus far, I definitely agree.
That one and possibly Belhaven. But let's cover Campbell first.
Yes. Let's cover Campbell.
Alright, so Campbell has a GSA that they are trying to get school approved.
Mm-hmm.
And we met this awesome rock star, Kenneth. He's heading that up. And apparently, so we were allowed on campus, and they made this wonderful schedule for us.
Allegedly wonderful.
Yeah. And we presented the Bridging the Gap presentation, and they proceeded to tell us the history of the school like we cared.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had lunch with our student host and some administration, and like a question and answer time with, who was that, the VP of Student Life or the President of Student Life or something?
Yeah, something like that. But before lunch, Basemore. We also, before lunch, we had a really awkward, campus tour.
Oh, yeah. Here's everything that we're adding to campus. It's growing all the time. We always have construction.
And look at our spray-painted green grass.
Yeah, it's not spray-painted. It's chemical. Anyways,
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, it's a chemical. They make it green so that way they know where they're spraying already.
That's ridiculous. I'm sorry.
Anyways, so afterwards we met with pretty much the GSA and any other student supporters, and that's when we found out that the administration blatantly lied to our faces, and that the schedule that they had made for us was very strategic, and that we weren't moving from place to place until 15 minutes after classes started.
Yeah.
And so that was a bunch of bullshit.
That was.
But I have a lot of hope with the GSA, and Kenneth's not giving up till it passes, even though he graduates.
Kenneth is amazing. Amazing!
And I think that's when a lot of the writers realized that we needed to step up our game and that we were here for a reason, and we were there to be the voice for the students that had to keep their mouths shut, and so we didn't need to do that because what are they going to do? Kick us off campus?
Yeah.
Let them.
Can I also add something, if you don't mind? I think what was also another really pivotal point for us was the fact that, like, we were so, like, taken off guard by the spiritual violence that we experienced on that campus, and we didn't really, I think, realize it until that's what it was until we were, like, in debrief. But, like, just the energy on that campus is just, like, negative and like, for me, it was really creepy. Because even though, like, I saw people everywhere I was going, like, there was just no good feelings and no good vibes that I felt from that campus. And at the end of the day, I really didn't need to understand why their colors were black and orange and why their mascot was the camel.
Yeah. So that was Campbell, and at debrief, after debrief, I had several conversations with a few writers about how it was time to step up our game. This was our sixth stop, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And if we weren't gonna step up our game, then we needed to go home. We just didn't need to be here.
Yeah.
Because we came to do something, and if we can't do it, then we need to go home. So that was Campbell, and then the next day we went to UNC Chapel Hill, simply to hang out with their
and watch Equality U.
Yeah, to hang out with their not SGA, their GSA,
QSA, something. Their LGBT group on campus. There we go.
And watch Equality U. And then after that, we headed out of town and went to Daytona Beach. But we'll separate that out. Okay. So that was what we did in Raleigh, North Carolina, Southeastern Baptist Theological Seminary, Campbell, and then watched the Equality U at UNC Chapel Hill.
Hey!